Last year, a Nevada law passed allowing rules to be made regulating street vendors. 2 weeks ago, Clark County passed their own rules, and today those rules went into effect.
Some of the vendors, though, are telling our reporters that they fear meeting the requirements might mean losing the income to survive. 8 News Now reporter Ryan Matthew joins us live from DI and Valley View with what's next. Ryan.
Yeah, Kirsten, Brian, a very popular taco stand usually sets up shop at this intersection every night. But since those rules went into effect a couple weeks ago, he hasn't been seen, and he's not the only vendor out of sight. Let's give you some perspective on these rules, though. I'm going to pass this off to my photographer here. If that vendor continued to set up shop over there, he would be required to stay 15 feet away from not just this intersection, but any intersection in the valley. That is right here. He also has some restrictions to stay away from the bus stops, from other vendors, on top of parks, schools, and other businesses. Those vendors say the rules are not just too restrictive, but too pricey. ¿Qué comida tú vendes?
Elote, raspados.
For Bertin Gonzalez, it's all about his culture. Savory corn, shaved ice, seasoned fruit. Bertin is one of hundreds now facing the new rules he hasn't had to follow in the 6 years he's vended. He's also the sole provider for his 2 daughters and wife.
Pues por una parte.
For one part, I felt good about it because it was a pathway to get a license, but at the same time, it's very bad for me. For one, they're not allowed on or near the Las Vegas Strip. Parks and schools, where most of the money is made, is outlawed too.
It's not every day they make a guaranteed income.
Robert Garcia and the rest of Make the Road Nevada also point to new licensing requirements. It starts with a state business license costing $200 annually. Then comes the insurance requirements that can go from hundreds to thousands, according to GeneralLiabilityShop.com. The Clark County business license will cost around $200 if applied online. Add that to an $860 health district license for first-timers. They're paying a pretty penny from the start. Breaking these rules mean a $500 fine, jail time, or both.
Their concern, their fear is very justified. They're scared that they're going to get their stuff confiscated.
Gonzalez says he doesn't have that type of money and will never have it unless he keeps working.
Todos los vendedores.
It's not only me. Multiple street vendors are going to attempt to apply for these licenses. I'm going to try to continue operations in the meanwhile.
Now let's give you some more perspective. The carts are not allowed to exceed any more than 25 square feet. That'll be about 5 feet length, 5 feet width. If you look at these squares on the floor, this is roughly the size of those carts. But they're going to have to find some pretty big sidewalks to vend on. Most of the sidewalks in Clark County are 5 feet in width. The new ordinance says that those vendors cannot leave any less than 4 feet for passerbys. Reporting live in the Center Valley, Ryan Matthew, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Ryan. Metro and the Southern Nevada Health District will be responsible for enforcing the new rules. Police indicate they have an enforcement strategy, but they didn't provide any specifics to Ryan. Meantime, Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Las Vegas still without a timeline for when they will pass their rules. Brian?